Hi, I'm Peggy with Potato Patch Nutrition. We are an herbal supplementation company for horses, dogs, and humans, and we get posed a lot of questions. And so to try to reach more people, I'm going to read one of the questions and our honest answer to it, and hope that it finds, this is for a horse, and so I hope that it finds more people that have horses that are in need. This comes from Elizabeth, and her question is, I have a mare that has been diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, and she is on thyroid L, and I won't be able to take her off of it, although I can say it's not helping her that much. And so hypothyroid is actually pretty easy to treat with herbs. We have had very good success. There's some things that it's kind of important to know. The thyroid is quite sensitive to the gut flora and also to the adrenals, and so not just the thyroid is at play here usually. The hyper part is actually refers to the thyroid being out of balance and moving the metabolic rate too quickly. So the metabolism is going too fast, and a lot of times a hyperthyroid horse will appear lean, and you can feed them twice as much as a horse next door who's fluffy, and the hyperthyroid horse will have a difficulty with twice as much food, even gaining any fat whatsoever, and even muscularly they can be a little bit lean as well. And that has to do with the thyroid. But the next thing, the hyper part, as far as the attitude, they can be a little bit anxious, and maybe even to the point of being spooky, and they have a hard time relaxing, so they'll walk the stall, they'll walk the lot, instead of just eating restfully next to their neighbor, like their neighbor is, they'll be pacing and almost restless, like a restlessness. And that has to do with the adrenals. So, and anytime, it's a top-down system, so anytime in the hormone system, from the hypothalamus in the brain, that's the control center, to the thyroids, and then to the adrenals, if one part of the system is out of balance, you'll often see another part of the system significantly suffering as well. It's also important to know that the gluten molecule, which is in wheat, so check your grain for wheat middlings or wheat grain byproducts, anything to that nature, because if you have a horse with a thyroid issue, a lot of times it will be because the gluten molecule, being the same exact size as the thyroid or adrenal molecule, is getting that gluten molecule is getting into those receptor sites. The body's not able to eject it, but it's not doing anything for the body. And so a lot of times that can be a contributing factor. It can even be the driving factor. But in order to treat it, what we use is our hormone balancer, and that will balance the AM part of the adrenals and the thyroid. And then we also use another one called Just Chill, and that's for the PM adrenals. And because the adrenals are responsible for the wake and sleep cycles. And so a horse with hyperthyroidism, if left go unchecked, will eventually have sleep deprivation, narcolepsy. In humans, it's called Graves' disease, and it's really, really severe insomnia, essentially. And as someone who has suffered from sleep deprivation, not because I wanted to not be able to sleep, but had insomnia to the point that it was borderline Graves' disease. It's very uncomfortable for the animal. It's very hard for them to be able to function well with it, and even to the point that they'll fall down. And it isn't that they don't want to lay down and sleep, it's that they can't. So if you know of a horse that has hyperthyroid or sleep deprivation, send them our way. We'd love to help them. We want all the fur babies of the world to be comfortable. Be blessed.